Hey, this is Dana with Designs by Dana. Gonna come to you with a video tutorial had requests for, and what we're going to be doing today is going to be called, I call it overlay because it's see-through, holy, and I'm going to be doing a diamond shape today. So I'm going to start out by using thinner yarn. This is some I got from our local store, well, Big Lots. I'm not sure what area you might have it, but I paid $1 for it. And I just go and buy up a lot of different colors and keep it for my scrap yarn also when I'm doing tutorials. And so I'm going to use a smaller hook since I'm using thinner thread. But if I were you, and this is something you're going to make to wear, and you want it longer and you want it to drape nice, I would use Simply Soft, Karan, Red Heart. I haven't done anything with Love That Yarn. I do like Love That Yarn. It would probably look really nice for those of you who are using that. And so what I'm going to need you to do is get your yarn and everything ready so we can get started. Now this will be a tutorial for those of you who already know how to make a chain stitch and single crochet, slip stitch. Basically just doing a pattern, not doing a lot of teaching, but I always will give you a lot of information and advice that's going to help you in the future to go ahead and start making garments. We can get away from doing so many blankets and gifts for other people and do some things for ourselves. I'd like you, before you start following me, get some measurements. So for this particular top, I need you to measure from this side to this side. Mine is 15, double that, that's 30. And then I need you to measure from the top of your shoulder to under the bottom of your armpit. Mine is not 8. And that's where my opening, that's where I'm going to start my armhole at. Alright, so that means you'll have a little cap sleeve right here. And then we'll start the armhole. Very easy. So once you learn this application, you'll be able to take it, coats, sweaters, jackets, tops. You'll just be able to use it many different ways. Alright, so I'm looking forward to working with you. So let's get ready, and stop me whenever you want to play catch up. And I'm not going to say I'm going to be moving pretty fast, but I want to get as much in as a short amount of time as I can so that I can do more videos, because I have a few more requests that I need to get done. But I love what I do. I'm glad that you've asked. And I'm looking at myself here and seeing my friend's shirts that she does for, this one says, proud to be natural. So I'll have her information in the description so you can look at some of her t-shirts and her sundresses and things. Alright, so here we go. Alright, here we go. I'm going to be starting our chain for around our neck, and I'm going to be chaining, I know, at least over 100. So what I need you to do is to chain enough to whatever measurement you came up with on your chain. And don't do your chain too loose, and don't do it too tight. Alright, and you see I'm filtering my tail in as I go. Alright, and so I'm going to go ahead and chain until I get to my, what did I say, 30? I want to do 30 inches at least. And then I'm going to connect it together. I'm going to come back and we're going to connect it together. And then we're going to start our first row. Alright, so whatever yarn you have, we're working on right now, we're going to start from the top down, from the neck down. And once we do this, we're going to put 2, 3 to 5 rows for the band around the neck. And the reason we're going to do that is because we might have to put a drawstring through it. So you want your band to be wide enough to run something through it. Alright, so I'd say anywhere from 3 to maybe even 3 to 6. Normally if I'm using a bigger needle, bigger hook, I don't have to do as many rows. But because my yarn is so thin, I don't want to use a big hook. So, and this one will probably end up just being a shrug, just down just over the breast area, instead of making it real lengthy. We'll see how far my yarn goes, because I have two of these balls that I purchased in pink. I actually have an order for a pink one, but I want to use a heavier yarn. So if you're still keeping up, I'm gonna come back when I have it as long as I need it, and when I measure, when I get my measuring tape, I will not stretch it too tight. I'll just take my measuring tape and just lay it. I won't pull it like this. Don't pull it. Just put it on there, measure it to whatever your 30, 28, whatever you need. Alright, and the way I'm making this can also lay off the shoulder if you like a little bit. Some people like that, hang off the shoulder a little bit. But by putting your drawstring in it, that'll give you a little bit more control. If you need to be a little bit more conservative. Alright, so we'll be back. Stop the tape. When you're ready to connect it together, we'll meet back here. Alright, I'm back. So now I'm going to go from here, and I have this is the right side, and I'm just going to pull it. This is the bumpy side, so this is the wrong side. Just keep pulling it till I get to the end, and fold in so that I'm going to be placing this into, so that I have my right sides facing. See there? Right sides facing. Alright? So it won't be twisting. Alright, so this is going to probably be the hardest part of the whole thing, getting that straight. Now normally what I do is I just stick my hook in that first one, making sure I'm grabbing two or three stitches. Actually I come from the bottom, I'm sorry. Come up from the bottom through the top, making sure it's on the right side, and then grabbing the loop and pulling it through. I think that's a cleaner connection for me. And then I just pull it through. Alright, and chain one. It's a little awkward the way my camera has to be positioned here. Alright. And I'm going to chain one. Alright. There we go. And I got a habit of saying alright. And I got a habit of saying so. I got to work on both of those. So that's a pretty good connection for me. You want your connection to be pretty smooth. Alright, so now that you've connected, what we're going to do is you can do a single or a half double. Now if you want to do a double, that's fine. Because I like it around the neck area really tight, so because you're always pulling it over your head, you know, taking it off, and so I don't have a lot of issues with my stitches. I like this part to be pretty close together, kind of like fabric. So at this point I just need you to single crochet, half double or double, your choice, all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end. Alright, so you can stop the tape here and we'll come back together. But you see how thin this is. I'm using it, and that's why I chose to use a smaller hook. I could have used a larger hook. But I already had a vision what I wanted it to look like while I'm working on it anyway. So there we go. See that pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to go all the way around. And it's going to be, you're going to get it twisted. It'll start twisting, so just make sure you're staying pretty focused till you get, this is the hardest part, really, this first row, boy. Once we get through all of that, it'll be some smooth sailing. Alright, I'm at the end and I have just a few more stitches that I need to do. So I want you to check to make sure that it's not twisted before we do those last few stitches. So what you're going to need to do is go all the way to the other end. Find your two wrong sides and fold it. Two wrong sides kissing each other. Alright, this is the bottom, this is the top. Alright, and just make sure that both of those, because see how it starts twisting? All the way down so that your work won't twist. Pull those two together, top and bottom. Make sure you still got the top and the bottom. The wrong sides are kissing each other. All the way down. And when then you get there, if it's twisted a little bit, just get it right. If your yarn's on the wrong side, stick your ball back through it, just so you can get it right. So you want your top and your top matching. So see how mine are matching? Only have those stitches left to do. Alright, so I'm going to turn my work back over this way because I'm crocheting this way. So I need to make sure this is up here and these two connect together. So there we go. So when you get it down to the last two or three, that's how you correct it to make sure that you're going right. And you have to hold it too. Told you this is the hardest part. I'm doing singles. I don't know what you're doing. I have 1, 2, and the third one. And then what I'm going to do is I want to connect these together. So I like to pull up my loop, take my hook, and go into the top of the very first one and grab my loop and put it on my hook and pull it through there. This kind of helps me get a seamless look for me. So once I pull that through there, see there? It's pretty good. Alright. I still see that little hump right there. I don't like that. But we'll do that like that. Then I'll go ahead and start the second row. So the second row, if you're doing a single, you're going to chain 1. If you're doing a half double, you're going to chain 2. And if you're doing a triple, you're going to chain 3. So I'm going to chain 1. And then before I move forward, I'm going to again test to make sure that it's not twisted. That makes me very happy. That will make you very happy. Now if you have another way to connect better than mine, that's fine. Do that. And then another design element here, when you do this next row, the next 2 or 3 rows, you can always do the back loop. And by doing the back loop, that's going to leave you a ridge. And you'll have a ridge. If you go in both loops, just regular single crochet. I'm going to do just a single row crochet just for purposes of doing this video. And if I were actually designing for a person, I may have more elements of design by doing the back loop just to make it look different and it gives it a raised look. So there's a lot of things you can do to play with this. Alright, I've even done it when I did one and then went in the back loop on the next one, and then I did one in the front and back loop on the next one, and that just gives it a textured look. So there's a lot you can do. And then you can go back to doing this, or you can just do your back loops. 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. Because remember, you're designing right now. And you don't want your piece to look like anybody else's. And that's what I love about my work when I design. Alright, so now I'm just basically rattling, but I'm just going to do this all the way around and connect. I'll meet you at the other side of the connect, and then we'll go right into the chain stitches for the diamond. So go ahead and do however many rows you're going to do. 3, 4. You can make it as wide as you want. You can make it, 2. You can make it however many. 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch. I'm going to, because I'm using a smaller hook, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do about 5 or 6 rows, because I know I'm going to want it pretty thick. Alright, so I'll come back to you when I connect this one, and then we'll move on into the body of our overlay. Alright. Alright, I'm coming in to finish my second row. I'm still not liking this part right here. So I'm going to finish off these last couple of stitches. And most of you, when you do connections, you go into the top of the stitch, pull it through, and slip knot. Do a slip stitch. That will be fine. A lot of times if I'm doing something that's going to be really big, I don't like to do slip stitches because I don't like to see the connection in my work. So then you're going to chain up 1, and I also, when I went back and replayed what I told you, chain 1 is for a single, chain 2 is for a half double, chain 3 is for a double, not a triple. And so instead of doing my whole little video part over, I've learned that everybody makes mistakes, so I like to just do my tutorials real, not too much slicing and cutting, not too much starting over, because it gets really discouraging trying to put these tutorials together. And so to keep myself from being discouraged, I leave mistakes. If I make a mistake and I correct it, I tell you I correct it, or I try to put it in writing, overlay it across the screen to let you know that I made a mistake. And I just find that those are better tutorials for me, because I'm sure some of you guys are making some of the same mistakes that I make. So anyway, I chained 2, and I'm going to keep on going, and I'll come back when I have it as thick as I'd like it, and when you're ready, and we'll start into doing the diamond shape. And when you see how easy it is, you're just going to be so happy, especially when you make your first garment. And I would love it if all of you who make it would send me a picture. I forgot a way so I can see all your pictures. You could actually go to my website and drop it on there, or on my Facebook page, Designs by Dana. Now, Dana comes from my name, Dana, D-A-N-A, and I just put a hyphen behind the D-A hyphen at the top, accent, and then this small N and A. So that's where I came up with the Dana. Alright, so I'm not going to rattle. I'll see you back at the end of your row, and we'll start the design from there. Alright, here we are. I've got 5 rows. I'm still not liking this part right here. It's not seamless to me, so when I get done with the garment, I'll come back and I'll go over that whole row all the way around and do a single or a slip stitch all the way around to make that seamless looking. Alright, so here we're going to go. We're going to start with a chain 5. Now, actually, if you want a very small diamond shape, you can do a 3. Medium, I'm doing 5. Large, 7. And you can even go as large as probably 9. And it also depends on what hook size you're using too, how big your holes are going to be. Alright, so I'm going to do a 5 chain. And because I don't have all my stitches count it all the way around. That might be something you want to do to make it even. I always just play since it's only 3. I'll show you what happens when we get to the end, what I do. So I'm going to do every 3rd stitch. I'm going to, now you can actually slip stitch into that stitch like this, but I prefer to do a single into it. I think it looks better and it lays nicer. So every 3rd stitch, I'm going to chain 5. You can do 3 or 7 or 9. I'm going to single into the 3rd stitch, and I'm going to do that all the way around on this first row. I'll show you what I just did. And then when you come back the next row, we're going to be going into the space, or we're going to be going into the 3rd chain. And when we get to that part, I'll explain it to you what I prefer to do. Okay, so look at this. I'm using a K hook. No, I'm using an F hook, I'm sorry. And these are chain 5. So you can see about how big my holes will be. I think that's a nice size. Alright, so what I need you to do for this row is chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then go into the 3rd chain with a single. Now do that till you get all the way around, and meet me when we get all the way around, and I'll show you where I'm at, and you can figure out where you're at, and I'll tell you what to do. If you come out perfect, I like to come out not perfect, and I'll show you why, because then I end up I don't have to connect every row. Alright, so I'll meet you at the end of the row. Make sure you keep it consistent. Go into every 3rd one all the way around. Alrighty, looking good. Alright, I'm getting close. Have that much room left. Follow with me. Let's see where I end up at. I didn't even count yet. Chaining 5. Going into the 3rd one. Chaining 5. And going into the 3rd one. Chaining 5 and going into the 3rd one. Now, your next 5, you'll just grab right here. Sometimes you might end over here, and you would just jump right over to here. So it depends. You only got two or three to worry about, 2 to worry about really. So since I'm here and I only have 1 in between, I'll just jump right to here. Another time I might have 2 to worry about, still jump right over to here. And then what I need you to do is get a marker. And why get a marker? Because now we are going to just do continuous circles around, so you're not going to know your beginning from your end. So you can even use a marker like this. You can take a piece of yarn of a different color and just place it in here if you like. It doesn't matter, or down here at the bottom. You just want something to let you know that when you come around, you have completed a row, because you need to count your rows, correct? Alright, so I'm just going to put a marker. So those are my markers. You can use a safety pin. You can use a bobby pin. Alright, so here we go. There's my alright again and my sew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I like to anchor my diamonds. By anchoring my diamonds means I go into the 3rd chain with a single. And I chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jump over to the next one, chain. Now you can also, if you don't want to anchor, you can go into the space with a single. I'm going to do it both ways, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go over to the next one and I'm going to anchor it. I'm going to chain 5 and I'm going to go into the space of the next one. I'm going to show, and I'm doing this for a reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to anchor it in the third one. Now by anchoring it, it takes an little extra time to find that third one. 2, 3, 4, 5. By going into the space, you just go into the space with a single. Alright, now the reason I showed you both is because it does make a difference. By going into the space, let me take my hook off. By going into the space, it moves. Means it'll slide this way, it'll slide that way. By anchoring it, it's not going anywhere. That gives you a better, a nicer lay. There's nothing wrong with going into the space. It's a little bumpier and they can shift. But it's all going to be your preference. My preference is to anchor it. Takes a little longer, especially when I'm doing a design for someone who has possibly purchased one of my items. Alright. Alright, and then here was where we started, and it's not going to be too noticeable once you get more rows on top of this, but you're always going to know that this is your beginning and your end. And I only say that because we'll have to eventually count rows. So when we get down so far by measurement, and then you might want to write out your own pattern as you do this, or you can always come back to my video if you need a refresher course. Alright, so I'm going to finish out one more time. I'm going to do, and remember, you could be chaining 3, or you could be chaining 5, or you could be chaining 7 or 9, depending on how large you want your holes. Now I did show you a single. Let me show you what a slip stitch looks like when you just slip stitch into the work. So if I just slip stitch into the next one, I think it doesn't have as much definition as the single. I believe that the single has more definition than the slip stitch. And so it's all about preference, it's all about look, and you'll know what type of crocheter you are. Paying attention to detail, and who's going to be looking at it. There'll be some people who do look at it like that. Most people would never notice. I can't talk and count at the same time. Alright, so we're going to meet each other at when I come around one time, and then we'll keep doing this all the way around. Actually, we don't even have to come back. We're going to just keep doing this all the way around until it measures from here to whatever your measurement is. My measurement is going to be, what did I tell you, 8. So I'm going to do a chain all the way around until this is how far I have to go. So from here, this is the top of my shoulder, into my diamond shape comes to here. Alright, so that's how many rows you're going to need. And if I were to guess, I would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to need about 7 or 8 more rows. See what I did? I wanted to see. It's not quite 1 whole inch. So I added an extra one. Alright. So just keep going around and around and around. And this is your beginning. You get back here. That's your beginning and your end. Your beginning and your end. Alright, so we'll come back together. And probably for me, it'll probably be in the morning, so it'll be light again outside. and we'll start at that point to get ready to do the armhole. So this is going to be your diamond shape. Let me turn it around. Isn't that pretty? And it'll lay so pretty. And this is a thinner yarn, but it's still going to be really nice. Alright, see you in a little bit. Hey, I want you to know that because of this video, today I went for my first walk. At the beginning of this video, you'll see me in a gray dress. And I was sitting, and as I was videoing, I kind of looked at my stomach area and I was going, oh no, this is not good. So I was inspired, thanks to those of you who asked for this tutorial, because it inspired me today to get out there and to walk. And I took one of my pouches, put my water in it, put it on my back, and this is my phone pouch. And off I went. So I'm just very proud of myself today, and I thought I'd share that with you. But let's get back to the reason we're doing this actual video, and it's to work with you on the overlay. And probably on the next cut, I'll show you a picture of a couple of them that are already done, of different designs that I have done. But what I really want to share with you today is when I'm showing you this, we're getting ready to work on the armhole. For ladies my size or larger, this point of your shoulder is the widest part normally of your body. So once we do the armholes, I'm sorry, I'm on my front porch. Once we do the armholes, you can stay with that pattern and just let it continue down as long as you like it. Now say you're heavy or busted, a little busty. I'm going to teach you how to do your gauge where you can make it larger without putting the holes bigger. What you're going to do is just go up a hook size, maybe 1 or 2. And then say you women who are more shapelier and you want the overlay to kind of lay against you and not look saggy. Once you get past your bust area, what I'm going to need you to do is to go to a smaller hook size. Maybe go down 1, 2, or 3 hook sizes. And while you're doing the diamond shape, it'll just kind of come in a little bit. And as you get to your hips, go back up another hook size and another hook size until you get it down to the length. And what you're going to do is try it on as you go. You might be making it for yourself, you may be making it for someone else. But so right now I'm already to the area where I want to start my armholes. So I'm going to pull the camera in, or my cell phone, because I still haven't gotten a camera yet, and show you what you need to do. You're going to need to have some things. Oh, my husband just came out, so let me reposition my camera and we'll move forward. Okay, what I've done here is I've laid it out on the table so that you can see. I've got probably about 10, 15 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Mine took 12 rows for me to get to my arm area where I want to start my armhole. So this is the beginning and the end where I had the marker. So what I'm going to do now is put this on the side. I like to keep my seam on the side instead of in the back. This is where I'm going to line it up at right here to start my sleeve. Alright, so I have measured already under my arm. I took the measuring tape and I measured under my arm, and it was enough for 23 chains with me doing my F hook. So what I'm saying is I took my measure tape, and I'm going to pick up my foam and show you what I did to get to this measurement. This one's probably more than 23, but I took and I measured from here to the back of my arm with the measuring tape. Then I took the measuring tape and I chained up about 20 or 30, and I laid the measuring tape down on this chain stitch, and then I counted how many chains were in that length. Now I have to make sure that my number is in sequences of 3, because every 3 is where we're going to put the diamond shape. So mine was right at 21 to 24, 23, so I'm just going to go up to 24, so that when I come back around, I'm going to go every 3, and this is going to become a diamond stitch, and you'll see it as we work it. So what I need you to do, let me reposition my camera again. So lay your work out, measure under your arm and find your point, and put wherever you stopped at, line it up for your sleeve. So mine, and I know that I want about 1, 2, 3, I want 8. I counted 8 diamond shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 diamond shapes. And so I'm going to take this chain, 23 or whatever it is, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put it in this one. So as long as I have the same amount number here, I'm going to have it on this side also. Alright, so what I'm thinking is, and you keep putting it on yourself, I want to make sure I have enough room to get my arm in there. That's why I'm having you measure up under your arm. So like I said, mine was 23, so I went to 24 so that I can do every 3. And then I know that for the cap sleeve, this becomes part of the sleeve that lays on your shoulder and your top of your arm. And you'll see it once we get past this row. You'll be like, oh wow, I see it now. So if you got fat arms, you want to have a few more. If you've got skinny arms, you're going to have less. And it's just a trial and error as you put it on your body. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to have 8 chain spaces unworked on mine. And then I'm going to take however many stitches, and this becomes my underarm. And you'll see it when we come around. Alright, and then once I do that, I'm just going to pick up and then start going this way. Alright, so I need you to find out what your chain stitch is for under your arm based on what hook you're using, because everybody's count may be different. Like I said, I only need 24, so I need to count 24. And my 24 is because that's every 3. So when I come back around, so what I'm going to do is take that, make sure I got my 8 in here, my 8 unworked ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 9, so I got to move over 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So now I'm just going to go over here and slip stitch, or do a single. All right. So there's one armhole started. All right, and then I'm going to turn my work around and I'm going to go over to the other side. Now, I actually need to mark that other side before I get over here. So I'm going to come over here, fold it in half so it's even. Make sure it's even because it'll be off if you don't. So put my 8 there. There we go. If you don't, it won't be right. Alright, so then I got to come over here and put my marker. So I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's off. So I'm going to move over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm just going to put my marker in there. Make sure that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I gotta have 8 in there. Alright. Let's make sure we get this right. And then this is going to be your front. And this is going to be your back. And once you do this one time, you'll have it. It'll be really easy. I might be making it a little complicated for you this time. I'm sorry. So let me check again. 1, 2, 3. And I'm counting the chain spaces. 1, 2 that are unworked. That are going to be unworked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then I put this hook right there. Alright. And so that's your work. So now I'm going to continue my chain stitch. Till I get over to my marker. Now I have been alternating back and forth with securing it here or going through the whole space, just to see if it looks any different to me, since I showed you both ways. And when I use a smaller hook, my thread tends to split, so you got to be careful using a smaller hook with real thin yarn. Alright, so I'm not going to cut the tape. I'm just going to hurry up and get over there. And then once we do that, you're going to go all the way around. When you get back to that chain space, you're going to just work it just like we did at the beginning chain when we did around the neck. And then we're going to be smooth selling. Now, in case you wanted to add a sleeve, that's a whole nother thing. I may see what happens when we get done with this video. See if we got enough time to kind of give you an idea what you need to do if you want to add on a sleeve. And it's fairly simple too, once you know the technique. But these are techniques that you'll be able to use on many different applications that you're working on. So I hope you're having fun and getting excitement about your progress. Now also I wanted to remind you that if you did not put these sleeves in here, you could have kept going and just made a poncho. And there's something else you could have made. I'm going to show you when I get done. Get over here to this marker. Because when I was making it, I saw something else too, and I was like, oh my gosh. Your vision will just go crazy. Alright, here I am. So I'm at the marker. So I'm going to chain, do my normal, 5, and I'm going to go into this one. And I like to anchor these. It's a lot of movement. And then I'm going to chain 24. Why am I chaining 24? That's how wide it is under my arm. And depending on what hook size, yours might only be 10 or 15. Alright, mine is 24, and mine represents every 3, so that I can come back and make a diamond shape. Alright, so now I'm going to go right into this one. Took that marker out, and you have to put my yarn behind it, pull it through with a single. Alright, so now all of these are unworked. And I still always like to know where my beginning and end is, so when I end this, I'll know. So I still have this marker over here, so I know this is my beginning and end. So I don't need that right now. All right. So where are we at here? All right. I jumped, so I bypassed all of these because that's going to be the cap part of the sleeve. And now I'm just going to continue. Go back to my diamond shapes until I get all the way back around to the other sleeve. So when I get back to the other sleeve, I will catch up with you and show you what to do. All right? So, oh, but the other idea I was going to tell you about, what's this look like? A skirt. If you kept going, skirt with a drawstring in it, if you made it big enough, diamond shape, any kind of shape. I thought that was a really cute idea. But now if you just look at it like this, can you see the armhole? See, my arm would go right through here. Let me turn it. My arm will go right up there. I don't know if you can see that, but it goes right up my arm. And then what's under here, these chain stitches, are going to be diamonds, and they're going to be coming down here. It's a really awesome pattern. All right, I'll be back when I get around. All right, I've done one, and I'm over to the next one. I went on past the first one so I could show you what it looks like. This is what it's going to look like when you get done. That's the chain stitch right here. That's what it's going to look like. So when you come up to it, here's the chains. These are my 24 chains that I want to go across. These are my foundation chain that I'm getting ready to build the rest of my top on. This part will be going down my side. So I'm at the chain 5. And I don't have a diamond shape to go into because I'm bypassing these. I'm not doing these. These are going to be for the top of my cap, the top of my arm, shoulder. I need to go across this chain stitch. So I'm going to go into the second chain of the 24. The second chain is what you're going to do, and the reason why is because I'm in the middle of the 5. I'm in the middle of the 5. And then there's 2 more chains. The single makes 3, 4, and 5. So that gives me my 5 bottoms of my diamond shape. Alright? Let's try it again. I'm at the top of the chain of the diamond. There's 2 more chains going down, plus of the row before my single. That makes 3, 4, and the first 2 chains of that 24 that I'm going to be working, that gives me 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want to take this top of the diamond, which is 5 chains. This is the bottom of the diamond, 5 chains. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to go into that second one with a single crochet. And by going into that second one with a single crochet, I have the same diamond shape here and here. And it's just a flawless look. Alright, so now I'm going to continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to continue across the rest of these stitches. I have 22 left because I've already used 2. Every third one I'm going to put a single in. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, I'm going to put a single in there after I chain 5. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Let's go to the third chain and do a single. Oh, I think you can see that. Chain 5. And then go into 1, 2, 3. We'll continue that to the end of this chain. You do the same. Stop. You get done, pick it back up. Or just follow with me. My hair is getting in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Today I just picked up a new job. Lift. L-Y-F-T. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Originated in San Francisco. It's made its way to Ohio. 1, 2, 3. I'm really excited about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3. Chain 5. And then I'm going to go over into this chain 5 space or into the top of the chain 5 with a single. Now that underarm is complete. See that? Isn't that pretty? So let me hold it up, give you another look at it. Now, I know that this is my back because of my marker right here, but there's something else that I did that I need to show you. This back has 3 less spaces than my front. My front has I think it's 17 spaces here, chain 5 spaces, because of my breast area, give it a little bit more. My back only has 14 chain spaces. Alright, and so you can kind of alter yours that way if you're bigger busted and you want to. Alright, so we've done that, and now what we're going to do is continue around doing the diamond shape. And what I'm going to do is put it on to give you an idea. Visual is much better. Now this one is really not special for me, but I can still put it on because it has a lot of give in it. I figured if I had to do a tutorial, I might as well be working on my clients at the same time. Alright, so I'm going to stop here, put it on so I can show you something. And I always just pull up a big loop so I don't lose my work. Alright, so that's my back. This is my front. Let me turn it this way. Hopefully my camera won't fall on me like it did before. Alright, now I'm going to put it on so you can see this visual. Put my arm in. Put my arm in the other one. Pull it over my head. Alright, now let's see if you can see what we're thinking here. What's going on here? Alright, now, under my arm, see the thing is under my arm here? And then the back. Alright, so you're going to keep chaining until it covers past your breast area. Alright, now once it gets past your breast area, if you're heavy like me, just keep going. If you're smaller and you want to emphasize your waist, when you get right here, change hook size and go down 1 or 2. That's going to draw it in a little bit. And then just keep doing the diamond shape, following down your curves. If you need a little bit more, go up a hook size as you get to your hip area if you're a hippie woman. If you've got a big behind, I've even, in the back area, I've measured across the behind area like this. And if I had a bigger behind area, I just went to a bigger hook size right into that area. About 5 or 6 rows, depending from how high and down. So this is all tailor-made. When you make something for somebody else or yourself, you can tailor it to your body. That's the awesome thing about it. Alright? So, I don't want to get too far gone. But this right here is made so that I can put a drawstring through it. So that's why you see all that extra room up there. And it'll pull it into itself. Or if not, I can put a couple more rows and tighten it a little bit. And it can hang off the shoulder if I want. And then as far as the sleeve, if you wanted to add more sleeve to it, we would start down here at the bottom and slip stitch in chain 5 and just keep going into your stitches all the way around and form it down your arm. Oh, I look a little ashy there. Alright, so keep doing your diamond shapes right now. Just keep doing your diamond shapes around. There's no beginning or end, only where you see your, we don't have to worry again about that marker until we get ready to change something. Like if you're going to change your hook size, don't change your hook size right here. Change your hook size back at your marker so that it's even. And then when you're going to go back up another hook size, change it back at that marker. And that'll always keep everything even flow. And then you won't be lopsided when you get down to the bottom. You won't have a lopsided piece. So as long as you know where your beginning and your end, you'll be. This is called a continuously in the round, and we're not stopping every row and putting a seam, because I hate pieces that have seams in them. So the only place you're going to have your seam is up here, and to try to make it as flawless as possible. Alright, so hopefully this is helping you, and like I said, keep on going till you get down. I'm going to wait till I get all the way down here or my stomach area before I come back, so that you can see all of the material that's made right here. Alright, and then once we get down to here, you can go to the floor if you want. I won't have to keep on with the tutorial at that point. So again, I'm thanking you so much for watching and bearing with me as I'm trying to do this tutorial. And I'll be back in a little bit to show you some more length, okay? Thank you. I've got to insert this in here because you've got to see this. This is how I figured out another design for a top too. While I'm working on under the arms, I had set my piece down, and when I came back and picked it up, I saw this is really the bottom, but I was able to turn it upside down and make it the top. So I thought that was worth showing you. And you'll see it too while you're about 2 rows in, maybe 1 to 2 rows in. I'm actually about 5 rows in, but you'll see a strap forming right here. And you could make that into, it would be flipped upside down. And it could be a mini, just a small little shirt. But I thought that was worthy of adding to the, to this. But there's so much you can do with the pattern, so. Alright, we'll get back to our overlay. Okay, don't laugh at me, but I designed another way to wear this. So I came in the bathroom to try this on, to see how it was fitting under the arms and everything. And then I put it on upside down. And now look what I have. I was just like, oh my gosh. I keep on creating new things. Is this not crazy or what? This is the bottom. This is the top. You could actually go from here and add on and then flare it out even more if you want. If you wanted to do it this way. And I'm not trying to give you too much of this pattern, but you can always come back and do this. Okay? So I'm going to take it off right quick. You see, I still have the string and everything on. And let me show you. Oh, it was funny. It was just so funny. My husband keeps laughing at me because I'm like, I found another way to wear this thing. All right. This is what I wanted to show you for it to end it. Okay. That's the back. This is the front. Oops. That's the back. And then your sides, your holes. Is that not awesome? So this can be worn if you do. But what this was supposed to be for was for the overlay. So now here we are. Here. I'm past the bust area, and now I'm just letting it flare. So you can just continue on until as long as you like it. And then the 2 things that I just discovered, Well, one thing. This is the last one. But the other one were the straps. I had already discovered that one on another top that I was making. And the next video I'll try to do will be maybe with the Solomon's knot, double crochet. It's just so many different ways you can go with this. But now that you have a concept of how to add in this sleeve, awesome. And if you want to just make more sleeve, just pick up, I normally pick up like right here in the corner, chain my 5, then go to the next one and just keep going around. Now, if you want it to get smaller as your arm gets smaller, then you could actually go down to a chain 3 if you like, or you can change your hook size. Same thing, same concept, and then you will be in a design mode. So I'm very, very pleased. And that part that you see right there, I'm adding another element to this, and a little further down I'll put another one in there. But I put some what they call picots, and I don't know if you can see them really good, but they're in there. One row of picots in between my diamonds. But I'm not going to give you all of that information right now. I don't want to overwhelm you, but I think you're going to love this. Thank you so much for watching the video. Sorry it's a little lengthy, but you can always come back to it and just stop and go and stop and go. Any questions, any concerns, anything else that I can help you with, please leave the comments. I will reply back to you. And again, this is Dana with Designs by Dana. And thank you for giving me my boost to get out and start walking again. So be blessed, because you are blessed by the best.